I think we have the best week of the NFL season to date coming up this week. A loaded slate with a great game on Thursday night, a great game Sunday at 1, an awesome game Sunday at 4, and even Sunday Night Football is a pretty good game as well. Welcome back, everyone, to the Beef Upfront podcast here on Pick Swap Media. Ryan Coyle alongside Kevin Cannon for the weekly NFL preview show. And Kevin, we were just saying right before we came on the air, our best week of the season last week. It helped that we were pretty similar on all our picks, but a stellar week from the two of us. I went 12-5-1. You went 13-4-1. Okay, so I might have messed up the math there, or is that no, I'm right. Yeah. 13-4-1 for you. We both went 5-0 straight up, 4-0-1 against the spread. I went 1-4 on my over under. You went 3-2 on your over under. I went 1-0 on my dog of the week of the Patriots +6. They beat the Bears outright. 1-0 on my lock of the week, which was the Chiefs and the Lions money line parlay. That cashes on the last play of the game on both of those. Lions make the field goal. Broncos miss it against the Chiefs. And then went 0-1 on my touchdown score of Justin Jefferson. This is the week we have to hit our touchdown parlay. But yeah, you were 13-4-1 as well. 1-0 on your dog with the Bucks +5.5. They lose by a field goal to the Niners. 0-1 on your lock of the Falcons -3.5. A funky game there where Younghoe Koo missed 3 field goals. And 0-1 on your touchdown of Drake London. But our best week of the season comes in week 10. We're in the double digits now. We're looking to get it rolling. And as I said at the beginning, I think this is the best slate of games coming up that we've had so far this year.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun going through these games. I think we ended up this week picking a lot of differences. So hopefully one of us will continue to have a hot week this week.
All right, so the 5 games of the week this week, we start on Thursday with Eagles Commanders. We got Ravens Steelers. We got Packers Bears, a kind of do or die game there for the Bears. You go to the 4 o'clock window, Chiefs Bills, Sunday Night Football, Bengals Chargers, another do or die game there as well. So a loaded slate starting on Thursday night. One of the more anticipated, I think, kind of Thursday night games in a while. Last week was really good with the Ravens and the Bengals, but this week you have the 7-3 Commanders, upstart team, upstart kind of franchise under this new regime. New quarterback in Jaden Daniels travels to Philly to play the 7-2 Eagles for an 8:15 Thursday Night Football kick on Amazon Prime. Eagles 3.5-point favorite. Over under is 48.5.
Yeah, I'm going Birds winning by a field goal, 27-24. So the Commanders cover the 3.5. They're getting over 48.5. Even though the Commanders lost week, I think they showed they can hang with some of the NFL's top teams. This is a huge game with first place in the NFC East on the line and also keeping within reach of Detroit for the number 1 seed in the NFC. I think the Eagles offense is going to be able to move the ball against the Commanders' average defense. I think the key for them is going to be getting TDs, finishing drives, not settling for field goals, and then also not turning the ball over. Jalen had a couple turnovers last week in the first half. Hopefully he's able to stop that this week. And if he can play efficient and allow his playmakers to make plays, I think the Eagles offense can lead them to a win. The Eagles defense has also been playing really well lately, and they will have their hand full this week trying to stop Jaden Daniels. But I do think the Eagles have found a groove here in the past couple of weeks. But I think the Commanders keep it close as they have also covered against the spread this year. They are 7-2-1, so I think they keep this one close and cover the 3.5.
The way that the Eagles have really been playing has been like kind of an awesome turnaround. And I think it was Saquon said it in the locker room after the game. He said everyone on the outside was kind of panicking after those first 4 games. And internally, we kind of treated it as, this was the preseason. We have our bye week 5, and then we're kind of ready to roll after that. And I think we've seen this team come out of the bye and has looked arguably the best team in the league. They've had some generous matchups with Daniel Jones, with Deshaun Watson during that stretch, but still, you have to go out there, you have to play the game, and you have to go out there and dominate, and that's what the Eagles have been doing. And you mentioned Hurts turnovers. Obviously, the fumble is bad. That's like the sticking point memory of that Super Bowl in my head, that bad fumble he had. But the interception last week, I know it was in the red zone, but it wasn't like a careless throw. It wasn't a bad play or a bad pass. I think Trayvon Diggs just made a hell of a play. And those are the kind of interceptions you live with. Like Jalen Hurts is looking to make a special kind of throw there, and he did make a couple special throws in that game. But if he's going to turn over like that, I think you take your chances with that instead of just some of these reckless throws that we saw in the past from him. But this is a spot where the Eagles have thrived under Nick Sirianni. The Eagles are 20-4 straight up under Nick Sirianni as a home favorite. That is the best winning percentage in the NFL over that time. So when the Eagles have, had expectations, they've performed more times than not under Nick Sirianni. I think the Eagles are going to roll in this game. The defense has been playing lights out since the bye week, as we talked about. And I know that they played Deshaun Watson. I know they played Daniel Jones. I know they played Cooper Rush. But they've been playing some record-breaking defense. Since the bye, they're first in EPA per play, first in success rate, first in drop pack EPA, third in rush EPA, 10.8 points per game allowed, which is first, 199.8 yards per game, which is first, 11 takeaways, which is second. The offense, they're playing complementary football on that end as well. They seem to be really confident running the ball, still hitting big plays down the field. Last week was AJ. The week before was Devontae. And they just seem to have that 2022 swag and confidence back. And I think they show the league kind of who the best team is in the NFC East and maybe the entire NFC on Thursday night. I think it's a kind of stomping, a game that I'm going to predict 31-17 Eagles, but I don't think it's really even that close. So I'll go Eagles -3.5 in the under of 48.5 hit in there. But I think the Eagles are really on a roll. You can kind of see it with the vibe of this team, and I think that they're ready to really seriously make a run. And it's kind of a big prove it stretch coming up with this one. Then they go to LA to play the Rams, and then they go to Baltimore to play the Ravens. So a huge 3-game stretch here. I think they get it started off on the right foot. All right, we go to Sunday. My favorite non-Eagles game of the year when these two teams meet up. And I know they'll meet up again later in the year in Baltimore, but it's the 7-3 Ravens at the 7-2 Steelers. 1:00 kick on CBS. Ravens, 3.5-point favorite. Over under is 47.5. Kev, I know you love this rivalry as well. Do you think the Steelers get it done at home here?
I don't think they do. I have the Ravens winning a close, low-scoring one, 23-21. So the Steelers do cover the 3.5, under 47.5. Russ has been playing really well, but I'm just still not 100% sold. I think there is going to come a point where the Steelers offense is going to have to do a little more than just Russ throwing a moon ball up to George Pickens. The Ravens offense, on the other hand, is ranking in the top 5 in the NFL in almost every category, every metric. Lamar might win his 3rd MVP this year. Derrick Henry might go off for 2,000 yards again. And then their wideouts have looked as complete as they ever have in the Lamar Jackson era. And then on the other side of the ball for the Ravens, the defense is very, very concerning. They cannot be trusted. And if the Ravens get a lead in this game, they 100% could blow a big lead. They've done it multiple times this year. And even in the past, they've done it a couple times as well. But I'm going to take the Ravens because, in my opinion, I think it's hard to argue with picking the team with who has the better quarterback. So I'll go Ravens winning a close one.
I'm sticking with the trends in this Ravens and Steelers game. I backed the Steelers last week with a trend of Mike Tomlin. I'm going to stick with another one this week. Mike Tomlin is 17-11 straight up as a home underdog in his career as a head coach. That is the best mark in the NFL over that time. That data goes all the way back to 2007. I was very skeptical of Mike Tomlin pulling Justin Fields and putting in Russ, but Tomlin seems to have made the right move and has pressed the right buttons, and this team is playing very well. Pittsburgh, averaging 30.3 points per game since they put Russ into the starting lineup, going 3-0 in that span. So this offense has taken kind of a leap, has gone to a bit of another level, and I was very surprised to see that. I thought Russ was very cooked, and I thought Justin Fields and just kind of his rushing ability gave this team that is known for a very good defense the best ability to win. Lamar and the Ravens, as you touched on, has been awesome. He's the clear front runner for the MVP right now. I think we could all agree. But this is the best defense that he's played this year. On the road too in Pittsburgh, I think Brian Baldinger, I heard him say it a couple weeks ago, but he said he wishes everybody in their lifetime could experience being on the sideline for one of these Ravens-Steelers games because every hit just sounds like a 10-car collision. That's how physical and how crazy this game is. And it's a must-watch each and every year, no matter if – and these two teams are always good, but even if the Ravens were 4-12 playing the 3-13 Steelers in the last week of the season. Like, it's still a much must-watch game. I think it's the most hated rivalry by far in the NFL. But with all that being said, I'm going to take the home dog in the spot with Mike Tomlin every chance I get till the wheels come off. He's proven to win in this spot time and time again. I think the Steelers move to 8-2 and hold that first place spot in the AFC North. I'll go Steelers 24, Ravens 21, Steelers plus 3.5 and under 47.5 hitting there. All right, third game of the week, Packers 6-3 at the Bears 4-5. You might be asking, why is this game on the schedule? It might not be one of the headliner games, but Packers, they dropped this one. The NFC North, I think, is pretty much gone for them. The Bears, they lose this one. Is Matt Eberflus the head coach on Monday? They're sitting there at 4-5 right now. 1:00 game on Fox. Packers 6-point favorite here on the road, over under 41.5. Going into last week, the Bears had the longest winning streak in the NFL at home. They drop a game to the Patriots. Do you see them losing 2 in a row, Kev?
Yeah, I do. I think they lose pretty convincingly. Packers 20, Bears 7, Packers -6, under 41.5. The Bears season is over, in my opinion. They fired the OC this morning. Eberflus is a dead man walking. And there's also reports of veterans on the team have been asking for Tyson Bagent to start, as they believe he gives them a better chance than Caleb at the moment. I don't think that'll happen. I think it will be Caleb throughout the end of the year, but he just does look lost and broken out there. I'm not a big fan of using stats either from previous years to pick a game in the current year, but I saw this and it really did catch my attention. The Packers have beaten the Bears 10 straight games, and in every single one of those games, they have covered the spread. I think it continues here, goes to 11. The Packers are coming off a bye, so hopefully Jordan Love could get some rest and he'll be ready to go. And then they are also currently fighting for the number 7 seed, or they are the number 7 seed now. They need to keep that. If they lose, they could fall out of the playoff picture. So I think it's a huge game for them. And then I think everyone in Chicago kind of knows their season's over. I don't know how much they have to play for anymore.
Do or die spot for the Bears here. They lose this one, as you said, it could be it for Eberflus. He's basically a dead man walking, and basically a loss here, falling to 4-6. I think it's an uphill climb no matter what, but basically flushes any hope of a wild card spot down the drain. I know Big Cat at Barstool has been saying that the Bears won't fire Eberflus in the middle of the season because they've never done that in franchise history, I believe. But with Waldron out at COC, you can kind of see the writing on the wall, unless new offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, former running back in the NFL, is able to come in there and switch things up and provide some kind of positive influence on this team. And the craziest thing for me about the way this Bears offensive season has gone, the hype around Caleb Williams was warranted for what he did in college at USC, a Heisman Trophy winner, and the whole 9 yards. But there was like people saying, and I definitely was saying, that he was going into a great situation, but there was people out there saying that this was the best situation for a number 1 overall pick at the quarterback spot to ever go into. And I don't really think it's that big of an argument that it wasn't. I mean, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, you got to go out and get Rome Odunze in the first round, DeAndre Swift at running back, Roschon Johnson at running back, Cole Kmet at tight end. I mean, it was looked at as a great spot to go into, and with a really good defense as well. And they just have not looked good. They've had a few good weeks, 3 good weeks, I think you could point to for Caleb in the offense, but they've really struggled outside of that. It's been really ugly. But I do think former running back in the NFL, Thomas Brown, the new OC, the new play caller, is going to try and bring like a run-friendly approach and make things as easy as possible for this young quarterback. And I'm not the biggest Jordan Love fan, and I think his turnovers give other teams too many chances to stay in the game. And I think with an opportunistic defense like the Bears, like that can be at times, they could do just the same and get a couple picks off Jordan Love, who's been very up and down this year, leading the league in interceptions. Just find a way to win 13-10, 7-6, whatever it is, and just kind of give the team some life back in that locker room. I think it's been really dead ever since that Hail Mary against the Commanders. I'm going to go with the shocking upset here and take the Chicago Bears. The Bears, before last week, had the longest winning streak in the entire NFL, as I said at the beginning. They lose to the Patriots at home. But that's something that they've protected their home field well under Eberflus. They've been absolutely terrible on the road, but they've protected it at home. It's a do or die spot, I think, for a lot of people in that organization and for the entire fan base as well. They could be completely out on this team after this game. I think the team and the crowd get up for a rivalry game here against their hated rival in the Green Bay Packers, and I think they get the shocking surprise upset of the week. I'm going to go Bears 17, Packers 13 in a real ugly one. So obviously take the Bears +6 and under 41.5. But I think this is the kind of headliner, head scratching game of the week. Bears over the Packers. All right. I feel like we get this game every single year, whether it's in the regular season or the playoffs. But the Chiefs at 9-0 at the Bills, hooray, 8-2. 425 kick on CBS. Bills 2.5-point favorite, over under 45.5.
Yeah, I'm going Bills 27, Chiefs 24, Bills -2.5, over 45.5. If this game was being played in January, I would be taking the Chiefs, but it's being played in November and also in the regular season. When you do think about Mahomes versus Allen, you normally think about how Mahomes always wins, which is true, but that's only true in the playoffs. He's 3-0 against the Bills in the playoffs, but in the regular season, it's Josh Allen who's 3-1. The Chiefs winning one-score games has to come to an end at some point, I think. I know they don't win because of luck, or some people even saying like NFL rigged. I don't buy any of that. I think they win the games because they are just a really great football team. But at some point, you're just going to lose a close game if you keep playing with fire, I think. I think it comes here and could potentially end up being like the old cliche saying it was beneficial for the Chiefs to lose this game, as it kind of puts things in perspective for them and they can take their attention off of going undefeated and focus solely on just winning the Super Bowl at this point.
I'm going to keep this one plain and simple. Chiefs as an underdog, I'll take it. Mahomes is 12-1-1 against the spread as an underdog in his career. I understand the Bills are good, maybe even the Chiefs' biggest challenger in the AFC. But I think, as you were kind of saying with your pick of taking the Bills, like this is the Bills, I feel like Super Bowl every year when they get that chance to beat the Chiefs in the regular season, because they know they're not going to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in January. But I'm just simply not betting against the Chiefs. I won a lot of money betting on the Chiefs as a dog last year in the playoffs. It went to a trip to Florida that I didn't even get to go on. But I'm going to do it again this weekend and maybe make some of that money back. I'm going to go Chiefs 27, Bills 24. So Chiefs +2.5, over 45.5 hit in there. And Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs move to 10-0 and get closer to a potential perfect season there. All right, we go to Sunday Night Football now. We talked about with the Bears at 4-5 and doing a do or die type game against the Packers at home. You got the 4-6 Bengals here in a potential do or die spot of their own. Going to be a really tough to win. Most likely have to win 10 in a row or go 9-1. They would have to win 7 in a row or go 6-1 over their last 7 games, I think, to make the playoffs. They traveled to LA to play the 6-3 Chargers. 8:20 kick on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Chargers 2.5-point favorite here at home, over under 46.5. And Kev, I haven't heard any Chargers hate out of you this season. They're sitting here at 6-3, looking like they're on the road to the playoff. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, in the past, I have been a Chargers hater. I'm not a hater this year. I love what Harbaugh is doing out there, but I'm not picking them here. It's not me hating on them. I'm going Bengals, though, 23-17, Bengals +2.5. Under 46.5. This is the game I struggled with the most out of the 5, but I'm going Bengals. It's hard for me not to pick them when you see how good the offense can be. The defense obviously is a huge concern, but I think if they can even show up a little bit against a not awesome Chargers offense, the Bengals can win the game. And the Chargers were 3-3 just a couple weeks ago, and then they played the Saints, Browns, and Titans. Not the greatest teams in the NFL, so they are 6-3, but I don't know how impressive those past couple of weeks were. This is not me taking anything away from their terrific defense either, but they haven't even allowed 20 points yet this season in the game. I think it does happen here. I don't think they get blown out or anything, but I think Joe Burrow keeps the Bengals' playoff hopes alive.
Really like the under in this spot. See, you're on it too. That was the number that screamed to me when looking at this game. And it's plain and simple. I like the under in this one because to first start off with, I did not expect the Chargers to have one of, if not the best defense in the league. But through the 9 games, as you touched on, they've not allowed more than 20 points in a single game. I think you got to like the under in this spot, even with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase coming to town. Definitely, you can argue their biggest test yet. And it's a big one, especially coming off extra rest that they had and the performance on offense that they just had, and in a must kind of gotta have it type game for the Bengals. A lot of pressure here on the Chargers, but they've shown up and showed out. The Chargers have a formula down: run the ball, limit turnovers, and win these slugfests. Herbert steps up and makes big throws. He even made some big plays with his legs last week when it happened. And he's taken really good care of the football this year. He hasn't put in the defense in harm's way. And the Chargers have just been finding ways to win football games. Good old Jim Harbaugh, bully ball type style. I think that they keep the formula rolling this week, cause Joe Burrow to a couple turnovers, and rack up win number 7. But I will take the Bengals to keep it close and cover the spread, kind of split the difference there, because I could see this game going either way for sure. I'll go Chargers 21, Bengals 20. So Bengals plus 2.5 and under 46.5 there. And we move on to our last 3 picks of the week, our lock of the week, our dog of the day, and our anytime touchdown scorer of the week. I'll start it off with the lock of the week. Hit mine last week by the skin of its teeth. Let's see if we can do it again this week. We're going back to a 2-leg moneyline parlay. The Eagles on Thursday night against the Commanders, and the 49ers on Sunday afternoon against the Seahawks. Both on the money line. That pays out at plus 106. As I said, I think the Eagles are going to kind of make a statement game on Thursday night and take care of the Commanders at home by double digits. And the 49ers host the Seahawks. 49ers own the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are crap. I think the Seahawks could be one of the worst teams in the league by season's end, winning about 5 to 6 games kind of total. And they're looking at some major changes there, especially at the quarterback spot with Geno Smith. But that's a story for another day. But Eagles, 49ers, money line, plus 106 for my lock of the week.
Yeah, my lock of the week, I am going Colts plus 3.5 against the Jets. The Jets' defense has been terrible since Salah left. I don't think they have anything left in the tank. Not that the Colts have a ton left, but I think enough to keep it close.
Yeah, that one popped out to me. I saw it even at 4 today. I was thinking about making that my potential dog. I think that's could be an outright win for sure. I think the Jets are a dead team walking as well. My dog of the day, I'm going to double down on the Steelers, plus 3.5. I think that they're going to win this game outright. As I said, Tomlin 17-11 straight up as an underdog since 2007. Last week, I forget the exact stat, but I had a stat just on him in underdog games alone. And they not only covered last week against the Commanders, but won that game outright. So give me the Steelers and Mike Tomlin as a dog for my dog of the week.
My dog of the week, I'm going Titans plus 5.5 against the Vikings. The Titans' pass D is still very good, and I think the Vikings have come back down to earth just a little bit, so I think Titans keep it close.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see that more and more throughout these past couple of weeks. Like Joe Flacco, he's returned to earth a bit. Jameis Winston had the one game, has returned to earth a little bit. Now you're starting to see it with Sam Darnold more and more. The cream rises and the slop falls. All right, anytime touchdown pick of the week. Looks like we're going with a Thursday night football special here. I'll go Jalen Hurts plus 100 versus the Commanders. It's kind of weird that this is even a play that you're able to still get at plus money. Shout out to Mark Henry Jr. for Fox Sports The Gambler. He takes it every single week as his biggest bet of the week, and it cashes out more than not. He finds his way into the end zone, whether it's on a tush push, and the Eagles have really been doing a good job of using his legs, I think, in the red zone as well this season. So give me Jalen Hurts plus 100 versus the Commanders for my anytime touchdown score this week.
My anytime TD, I'm going Austin Eckler, same game against the Eagles, plus 115. He's been seeing more touches recently with Robinson out, and he may be out again this week.
All right, well, that will do it. I think we have the best week so far of the NFL season upon us, starting on Thursday night, and then all through Sunday, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock must-see games. I don't know who Monday Night Football. I think it's like Texans-Cowboys. Not the greatest game there, but a loaded slate coming up this week. But as always, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Good views tonight on the stream, popping off a little bit. But as always, please drop a like, please drop a subscribe, and we will talk to you next week.